So without further ado, I'll turn it over to you, Maíra. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Aaron. Thank you, Cheryl. Dear Thai, dear Sangha, dear beloved Earth Holder community. Do you hear me well? Okay, thank you. So today we are going to talk a bit about the updated version of the Earth Peace Treaty. Don't know if you were able to see it. It was linked in the email invitation, but if not, we are going to talk about it. And but first, we are going to do metta meditation, and it's going to be a bit condensed or adapt since we won't have the time to do the four usual parts of it. I ask for your permission because I merged some parts of it in the same text. For those of you who don't know what was playing when you got in the room, it was two songs, two chants, let's say, for two orishas from Afro-Brazilian religion. One is Eshu, who is the organizer of the chaos. So our communicator, he opens the doors. So we always do it at the beginning. He's a bit of a Dharanindra too, who is the Earth Holder Bodhisattva, because he builds bridges as Earth Holder does. And the second one was she did to Oshun, who is the mother of the rivers and love in general. So I thought it was appropriate. So we are starting the meditation now. I hope you can hear me well. It will take around 15 minutes, and I hope you enjoy. So if you want to close your eyes, and if you wish to close your cameras, there's no problem. And if you feel more comfortable doing that, close your eyes and check your shoulders and your hips and where you are seated, or if you want to lay down, you can lay down too, and just start relaxing. If you want to roll your shoulders or maybe stretch your neck and release your tongue from the up part of your mouth. We usually do that without even noticing. And relax and now start. May I be peaceful and light in body and mind. May I be safe and free from injury. May the earth in me be safe and free from injury. May I and the earth in me be free from anger, fear, afflictions, and worries. May I know how to look at myself and at every single person with the eyes of understanding and love. May I be able to recognize and touch in myself and to water in every single being the seeds of joy and happiness. May I know how to look at myself and at every single person with the eyes of understanding and love. May I learn to identify and see the sources of anger, craving, and delusion in myself and in every single person. May I be free from attachment and aversion, but never indifferent. May I learn how to nourish myself and the earth with joy every day. May the earth in me, may every single person, and may all beings be able to live fresh, solid, and free. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing love from the earth. Breathing out, I send peace to every corner of the earth. We are now listening, we are going to listen to a chant to Oshala, who is the warrior of peace and the father of all of us.
Aure, aure, boku sure ajawa, eu xinxeda yo, olorinho che, ero, aure, aure,
Thank you. Thank you all. We can open our eyes, stretch a bit, or shake some part of our body that might be sleepy, or do some, send us a bit of peace to our own bodies. And we not always treat very gently. So thank you. We are now, I'm share a bit about the way I see, because that's the only thing I can share about from my own wrong perspective. The Earth Peace Treaty that Deer Park and Phap Luu and some of the earth holders just updated. I don't know if you know what it is, but it's a bit about addressing our current poisons. As you might all be aware of, the Buddha said that we are poisoned by mainly three things that are hatred, greed, and illusion. And in which ways we could say that greed is in the root of colonialism and imperialism and extractivism. And hatred could be racism, I don't know how to pronounce this, xenophobia, don't know if okay, thank you. And queerphobia and ableism and religious intolerance, and illusion could be consumerism and speciesism. Don't know if that's the correct pronounce of it, but and we could interchange them all because they are all a bit of hatred and greed and illusion. But in which ways we could address in practical actions, because sometimes the crises are so big and we are so overwhelmed by the state of our current lives and way of living that we think we cannot do much. So this treaty is a very nice thing because it shows that we can do a lot, just as human, as individuals, as Sangha, in our own Sanghas, in our own families, and in society. And especially, and I've been talking about it a lot, not only changing, thank you, AD, it's in the chat, the old, okay, the current version, the older version. The current one is in Mindfulness Bell. I have it open here, but I will paste it later. It's not just a matter of changing or substitute when fossil fuels from clean energy. And please, if you can do it, because we need that. But as if you're not aware, we know that the lithium that provides batteries for electric cars and all the minerals come from the forest in my countries. Thank you. Yes, here it is. And from the earth and the land and the mountains, they are destroyed in South America and Africa in general. So it's and the people who live in those places that are killed and expelled and poisoned by the minerals and all of that. So in which ways we could go a bit further to change not only objects or materials, but to change our own way of living. That's what caused this, the poly crisis, let's say. So now I'm gonna show you. I'll try to open it if I can. I did a few highlights in the file. It's a downloadable file. You can download and check your boxes and send it to Deepak if you want to, but you can just put it in your own, I don't know, mirror or office and just leave it there. And, okay, here it is. Beautiful. Do you all see this? Okay, thank you. So, as you can see, there's a lot of, it's like a document. So you can put your name and in the end you can sign it, but you don't need to do that, but it's kind of funny and creates a commitment. And it's kind of there are parts of it, and I just highlighted, of course, for each one of us will be different. There's a lot of things that probably many of us already do. But I highlighted some stuff that I guess for me and for some of us could be hard or could change the way that we live, such as, for example, carpool to work or use mass transit. I don't know where you live if public transportation sucks. Where I live, public transportation sucks. But I guess we could not change it if we don't organize ourselves as a society to pledge for better public transportation. And if we don't use it, otherwise we cannot make much difference, because the thing is, we are really trying to escape suffering and trying to escape discomfort, and using public transportation might be very discomfortable. So in which ways could we deepen our practices and our awareness of the present moment and our stability in our breath to make commuting tolerable, let's say. And here we have reduced car trips and drive a fuel efficient and electric vehicle. It's just what I said. Please do it if you can, but don't think this saves you from doing everything else. And reduce flight travel, and I guess especially in well, US and Brazil, we don't have a lot of train networks for making it easy and more comfortable to travel. In Europe, there's a lot of trains, but could we just take the bus and enjoy the ride and enjoy the horizon and look through our windows and things like that. In the item consumption, we have things like avoid buying single-use items, which is very challenge sorry, I was reading the chat, which is a very challenging. Replace paper napkins, towels, and plates with reusables. And for those who doesn't know or who have this doubt, it costs less for the earth to wash towels than to just throw them in the ocean or whatever. So it's not as comfortable as just discharging, but it's not that hard, so we could do that. Nutrition item, eat a compassionate plant-based diet. I don't want to go controversial. I don't want to fight your individual rights and your personal freedom to choose what you eat. But all our trainings begin with aware of the suffering caused by. So in the moment we are aware of the suffering caused by something, and it might not only be caused to the animals we eat or we explore to eat, but also to the earth and also to monoculture that is very harmful for the earth and climate crisis and all of that. And join a community-supported agriculture group, which is very nice. And if you don't know what it is, just you can Google it. A lot of places it exists, because especially with climate crisis, the growing of plants and things to eat have changed and will change more. So and with a lot of storms and rains and freezing and heating waves, farmers lose their plantations. So they lose money and they cannot afford to eat. So in Portuguese, it is the word, the expression is community that supports the farmers. So there's a verb, there's an action, like you are supporting the farmers so they can be free to give us food. So to remember the supporting part of it. And then we have, oh, this is very controversial. Grow products at home or in a common community garden, because a lot of us cannot have a garden in our homes, but we can organize. We can be organized people to organize with our neighbors or our colleagues to have something common. And now water flush only when necessary. This is hard because people always argue, oh, it will stink when I eat. Yes, it will stink if I let my pee there just resting. So this might be uncomfortable, but I guess we can go a bit harder and do just 2 pees in a row, and let's see how we go, and just flush in a second. I dare you to try that and to see if you will be so discomfort. It won't. Sorry, the cat maybe just dropped something. Electricity, use stairs instead of elevators. This might be uncomfortable, especially after a day of work, but it's helpful for our health too, so please do that. And dry clothes, it might be a challenge, especially if you are in a cold weather. So this is understandable, but we get used to these facilities and this comfortable stuff. And eliminate or reduce the use of air conditioning or heating. This might be challenging too, especially we had here yesterday real feel of, I won't be able to convert it to Fahrenheit, but of 50 Celsius, which is probably too much. I'll convert it later because I have it on my face. And we are just beginning spring, so it will be hard, but we can use public air conditioning places instead of each one of us in each box, piled box we live in a building, have our air conditioning turned on. I'm trying to check filter. So it is, oh, it's a lot. It's 50. It's 122 of real fill we had yesterday. So let's go, and I'm already finishing it. Have an electricity-free day. This is really hard, and this is really radical, but our teacher was a very radical human being, so we could honor Thai and try to be radical. Maybe not the whole day, but just like 12 hours instead of 24. And spread a vibe, reduce my consumption, which is very important. And with this, I will end. Write articles and stories to help others get in touch with their ecosystem. And I usually highlight that because I'm a journalist, I'm a communicator, but I really think that we have already enough data. We have already enough information. We can access information and we know that things are not good. So I guess we lack a bit of a marketing endeavor, like publicizing and fairy tailing stuff, and learn how to make a different life wantable, desirable, make people want a different life. How we do that? We do that through poetry, just as our teacher. We do that through writing what kind of things we think it's nice in a different way of living, and not highlighting all the data that we already have, but the wonderful things that it means to live in community. And then here you can add your own commitment proposals. So if you have other ideas, and then you can sign, date it, and share a copy and send it to Deer Park, or I don't know if you can still do that. Aaron will know better than me, but you can print it and glue it in your face or in your bathroom, so you can do that in the morning every day. And I'll just stop sharing. Okay. And the proposition now is that as we go into Dharma sharing rooms, yes, you can send it. Thank you, Aaron. You can send it to Tilpa. And as we go into Dharma sharing rooms, we could reflect upon some stuff that inspired us, or some things that we think it's really hard. It might be too, like that I won't be able to change. Like, as you might know, there's a story that the Buddha was there sitting and meditating with his friends from his Sangha, and then just there was this guy that came close, desperate, because he had lost all of his cows, and that's how he got his money to live and to eat. And he asked if they had seen the cows, and well, the Buddha and his disciples hadn't seen any cows. And when the man just left looking for his cows, the Buddha said how happy we are that we don't have cows to worry about. So which cows could we just let go, and of which things we are attached to could we just release? Yes, that's very good, and I will suggest it to Heather, who is the executive editor of Mindfulness Bell. Cheryl just suggested a very good thing to add to my own commitment. It's to have a white background so we don't use so much ink while printing it. Thank you, Cheryl. Back. And I hope you had an inspired sharing session. Before passing back to Aaron, I would just like to say two things that came up in our sharing room that I thought it would be good to share. That first of all, our teacher told us and taught us that the practice has to be fun. So we should try to change things and change our way of living and change our approach to things, but not adding more suffering to the world. So find ways of being able to seed and water the seeds of joy, and especially, I don't know why I do that, doing it with other people and doing it in community. So it's always more fun. So please don't suffer when doing that. And it's different to everyone and to every context and every possibility. So no one will be able to feel it all of the sheet. It just won't happen. So don't feel guilty if you cannot do some stuff, but you can do other stuff. So only you will know what fits your own life. And especially for my friends in the United States, as you did in the middle of last century, spreading the word of American way of living, you could do now, spreading the word of it's nice to be weird, and it's having the courage to be weird and to be different from what we are used to think it's nice and cool and everything. So please, let's have the courage to be weird. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thank you, everyone. I will bow out and just stop talking.
Thank you so much, Maíra. Deep gratitude for your practice and sharing. We can hold Maíra in our hearts, and grateful for this seeds that have been planted in our consciousness and building community. So I would like to do the closing of the merit, sharing the merit practice by reading the One Earth Sangha, sharing the merit, and then we will maybe have a couple of announcements. I'm going to put in the chat after that some dana links if you would like to offer dana to the Earth Holder community. Maíra is also a member of our Earth Holder CTC, and she, aside from what she's doing with that project, will be traveling to Plum Village in this winter to be on retreat there for the winter retreat. So there's also a donation link if you would like to support her journey. That's a separate thing from the Earth Holder CTC and her work there, but if you feel inspired, it's not necessarily connected to today's offering, but I would just like to let you know about that. So I'll put those links in after. But let us close with sharing the merit. I will read that. So if you'd like to close your eyes or follow your breathing, and just sense your connection to the earth and all beings, however you would like to do that. May all places be held sacred. May all beings be cherished. May all injustices of oppression and devaluation be fully righted, remedied, and healed. May all who are captured by hatred be freed to love, to the love that is our birthright. May all who are bound by fear discover the safety of understanding. May all who are weighed down by grief be given over to the joy of being. May all who are lost in delusion find a home on the path of wisdom. May all wounds to forests, rivers, deserts, oceans, all wounds to Mother Earth be lovingly restored to bountiful health. May all beings everywhere delight in whale song, bird song, and blue sky. May all beings abide in peace and well-being, awaken and be free. Thank you. It will be difficult for me to make a bell sound. I wonder if you would be willing to do that, Maíra, just to close with the sound. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I will put in the chat now some of the links. I'm on an iPad, so bear with me. So it will take a moment, but in the meantime, we can do introductions, which is our normal practice. And while we're starting to do the introductions, I will put the links in the chat. If you need to go, because 9:30, we understand that, but if you would like to stay and do an introduction, we will go by region. And just because maybe there's quite a few of us, it's our way of getting to know where people are in the world, and also to acknowledge the land and land ancestors of the places where we all are. So we want to do that as well. And while we're doing that, I will work on putting the links for support dana to the Earth Holder community, and then also Maíra's travel support, and as well a link to our base camp. An email to Simona, our coordinator, Earth Holder coordinator, and if you would like to join the base camp community, she can help you with that. So I'll put those 3 links in, and then we can do that. I want to say just a tiny bit more on the land acknowledgement. As part of our introductions, we offer land acknowledgements to honor the traditional, ancestral, and contemporary stewards of the lands upon which we live. Land acknowledgement is necessary but insufficient on its own. Acknowledgement is just a starting point, a kind of expression of our responsibility, a promise to keep looking deeply to see how we might fulfill that promise and responsibility of how we can offer to support the thriving and guidance and leadership of present day Indigenous communities and leaders and future generations, either through dana, uh, being connected to these communities, supporting these organizations. So we encourage you to do that practice. Okay, thank you.